Today, you're going to practice real, everyday English conversations. These are the exact phrases you can use in your daily life, and we will say them slowly and clearly so they stick in your mind. By the end of this episode, you will be able to greet people, make plans, order a coffee, talk about your work, and say goodbye like a natural speaker. So take a deep breath, relax, and just listen and repeat with us.
Welcome back to our English Corner, everyone. I am Mia, and I am so happy you are here with us again.
And I am Alex. This is episode 3 of our series, which means we are getting to know each other, so it feels like chatting with old friends. Today, the whole show is about everyday English, the kind you actually need when you leave your house.
That is my favorite kind of English, Alex, because it is the English people really use. So let us start at the very beginning of almost every conversation, which is the greeting. When you meet someone, the most common question is, "How are you?" It is simple, it is polite, and you will hear it everywhere.
That is right. And there is an even more relaxed version that friends use, which is, "How's it going?" "How's it going?" is casual and warm. So you use it with friends, colleagues, or people your own age. Let me show you, Mia. How's it going today?
I'm good, thanks. How about you? Did you notice what I did there? I answered with, "I'm good, thanks." And then I sent the question back with, "How about you?" That little phrase, "How about you?" is very useful because it keeps the conversation going.
I love that tip because many learners answer the question but then go quiet. So remember, after you reply, add, "How about you?" or "And you?" To answer my earlier question, I'd say, "I'm doing well, thanks for asking." Thanks for asking sounds polite and friendly, and native speakers say it all the time.
Now, you do not always have to say you are perfect. If you are tired, you can say, "I'm a bit tired, but I'm okay." The phrase a bit means a little. So, a bit tired is softer than very tired. It is honest, but it is still polite and positive.
Exactly. And here's another natural reply. "Not bad, thanks." Not bad actually means quite good, which is a little confusing at first, although it makes sense once you get used to it. English speakers love these gentle, modest answers. So if someone asks how you are, not bad is a safe and natural choice.
Let us gather our key phrases for greetings so far. Number 1, how are you? Number 2, how's it going? And number 3, the reply, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?"
Those three will carry you through the start of almost any conversation. Now, after the greeting, we usually have a little chat about nothing important. We call this small talk, and it's a big part of everyday life. Small talk is friendly conversation about light topics, like the weather or the weekend.
The weather is the classic small talk topic, especially in English-speaking countries. You can say, "Lovely weather today, isn't it?" That little ending, "isn't it?" is called a question tag, and it invites the other person to agree. So you make a comment, add, "Isn't it?" and the other person nods and replies,
Let me try it. It's really cold this morning, isn't it?
"It is. Yes. I could barely feel my hands on the way here." See how I agreed first with, "It is, yes," and then added a small personal detail? That is the secret to good small talk, because you agree and then you share something little about yourself.
Another great small talk question is about the weekend. On a Monday, people often ask, "Did you have a good weekend?" Or they say, "How was your weekend?" Both are warm, easy openers, and they show that you care.
And you can keep your answer short and simple. You might say, "It was nice and relaxing. I stayed home and watched some films." Or, "It was busy. I visited my family, which was lovely." Notice I use the word which because which lets you add a comment about the whole idea.
That is a smart little grammar point, Mia. "I visited my family, which was lovely," connects two ideas smoothly. For our listeners, do not worry if that feels hard right now. Just start with the simple version, and the longer sentences will come with practice.
So let us review the small talk phrases before we move on. Lovely weather today, isn't it? For a comment about the weather. How was your weekend? To open a friendly chat. And a reply like, "It was nice and relaxing, thanks."
Perfect. Greetings and small talk are the doorway into every conversation. Say them with a smile, keep them light, and always send a question back. Now that we have said hello, let us talk about something we all do, which is describing our day.
So Alex, now that we have greeted each other, the natural next step is to ask about the day. A very common question is, "How was your day?" You ask this in the afternoon or evening when the day is mostly finished. It is warm, it is caring, and people love to be asked it.
It really is one of the friendliest questions in English. And there is a present version too, which is, how's your day going? You use how's your day going in the middle of the day when the day is not over yet. So the tense changes depending on whether the day has finished or not.
That is a helpful difference. So let me ask you properly. Alex, how was your day?
It was pretty good, thanks. I woke up early, I went for a short walk, and then I started work. Did you notice I used the past tense there with woke and went and started? When we describe our day, we usually talk about finished actions, so we use the past tense.
That is a key point for everyone listening. To talk about your day, you need those simple past verbs. I woke up. I had breakfast. I went to work. I came home. These are the building blocks of your daily story.
Let me give a fuller example so people can hear the flow. I woke up at 7, I had a quick breakfast, and then I took the bus to work. The morning was busy, but the afternoon was quiet, so I finished on time. See how I linked everything with and, then to but and so?
Those linking words are so important because they turn a list into a real story. Without them, you just say, I woke up, I ate, I worked. With them, you say, I woke up, then I ate, and after that, I worked. It sounds much more natural and relaxed.
Now let me ask you, Mia, how was your day?
Honestly, it was a bit hectic. Hectic means very busy and a little stressful, so it is a great word to know. I had 3 meetings in the morning, which left me quite tired, but I managed to rest at lunch. Overall, though, it was a good day.
I like that you used manage to because that is a useful phrase. I managed to rest means you succeeded in resting, even though it was difficult. So manage to shows a small victory against a busy day. Many everyday sentences use it, like, I managed to finish everything.
Let us also talk about daily routine, because that comes up a lot. Your routine is the set of things you do every day. You can say, on weekdays, I usually get up at 6 and start work at 9. The word usually tells people this is your normal habit.
And for routine, we use the present simple tense, not the past. I usually get up early. I always drink coffee in the morning. I sometimes go to the gym. Those little words, usually and always and sometimes, are called frequency words. They tell people how often you do something.
So let us keep them clear for everyone. Always is 100% of the time. Usually is most of the time. And sometimes is now and then, maybe a few times a week.
Let me give a routine example using them. I always have coffee in the morning, I usually walk to work, and I sometimes cook dinner at home. That one sentence tells you a lot about my normal life, and it is easy to build because you just swap in your own habits.
Let us review our key phrases for this chapter. How was your day? And how's your day going? To ask about someone's day. It was pretty good, or it was a bit hectic as natural replies. And routine words like usually, always, and sometimes to describe your habits.
Wonderful. So now you can ask about someone's day and describe your own. Try it tonight with a friend, or even with yourself in the mirror. Talking about your day is a lovely way to connect with people. Next, let us make some plans together because friends love to make plans.
Okay, Alex, this chapter is one I really enjoy because making plans is so much fun. Imagine you want to see a friend at the weekend. How do you invite them in a natural, friendly way? There are a few lovely phrases we can use.
The first one is a classic, which is, do you want to? For example, do you want to grab a coffee this weekend? Grab a coffee is a very casual way to say meet for a coffee, so it sounds relaxed and friendly. You will hear grab used a lot, like grab lunch or grab a bite.
I love, do you want to? Because it is so simple and warm. And there is another soft way to suggest something, which is, how about? You can say, how about we see a film on Saturday? How about is a gentle way to put an idea on the table.
Let me show how these work together in a real chat. So Mia, do you want to do something this weekend?
Yeah, I'd love to. What did you have in mind? Notice my reply there. I'd love to. That is a warm, happy way to accept an invitation, and I'd is short for I would. And what did you have in mind? Asks the other person for their idea.
That question, what did you have in mind, is really useful. It means, what are you thinking of, or what is your plan? So when someone invites you, you can accept and then ask for the details. Let me answer you. How about we go to that new cafe near the park?
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great is a perfect phrase for agreeing with a plan. You can also say that sounds good, or that sounds like fun. They all show that you like the idea and you are happy to join.
Now, once we agree on the activity, my kitty, we need to sort out the time. So we ask, what time works for you? What time works for you? Is a polite way to find a time that is good for both of us. It shows that you care about the other person's schedule.
And I might reply, how about 2 o'clock? Then you can agree by saying, 2 o'clock works for me. Or if it is not good, you can say, actually, could we make it a bit later? The word actually softens it so you do not sound rude when you change the plan.
That is a great point about softening. Actually is a small word, but it makes a big difference in politeness. Actually, could we make it 3? Sounds much kinder than just no, make it 3. So sprinkle actually into your sentences when you gently disagree.
Let me put the whole plan together so people can hear it flow. Do you want to grab a coffee on Saturday? I'd love to. What did you have in mind? How about the cafe near the park around 2? That sounds great. 2 works for me.
Beautiful, that is a complete plan from start to finish. And do not forget, you can also suggest a place with, let's meet at, for example, let's meet at the station at 1:30. Let's is short for let us. And it is a friendly way to suggest doing something together.
Let us review the key phrases for making plans. Do you want to? And how about Lance for inviting someone? I'd love to. And that sounds great for agreeing. And what time works for you? For choosing a time.
Perfect. With those phrases, you can invite a friend and set up a whole weekend plan. It feels so good to make plans in English because it opens up your social life. Try inviting someone this week, even just for a short coffee. And speaking of coffee, let us go to a cafe now and order something delicious. So here we are, Mia, walking into a lovely little cafe. This is a moment that makes many learners nervous, but it does not have to. Ordering food and drink uses just a few simple, polite phrases. Once you know them, you can order with total confidence.
That is so true, Alex. The most polite and common phrase is, can I have, for example, can I have a cappuccino, please? It is short, it is polite, and it works in almost every cafe and shop.
There is another very natural one, which is I'll have. I'll is short for I will. So I'll have a tea, please means you have decided on tea. You often use I'll have when you are ready to order and you feel sure. Both can I have and I'll have are perfect. So pick whichever feels comfortable.
Let me play the customer, and Alex, you can be the barista. Hi there. Can I have a medium latte, please?
Of course, would you like anything else?
Yes, I'll have a slice of chocolate cake as well, please. Did you hear the phrase as well? As well means also or too, so I added the cake to my order. And please at the end keeps everything polite and friendly.
Now, a very useful question is about the price. You can ask, how much is that? Or you can ask, how much does it come to? How much does it come to? Asks for the total of everything together.
Let me ask it. So how much does it come to?
That comes to £7.50, please. Notice I said that comes to, which is the natural way to give a total. And when I tell you the price, you simply get ready to pay. Paying is easy because you usually just say how you want to pay.
Right. So you can say, can I pay by card? Or can I pay with cash? These days, many people say, card, please, and tap their phone or their card. It is quick and the staff understand you immediately.
And here's a small but important tip about being polite. When the server gives you your coffee, you say thank you. When they give you your change or your receipt, you say thank you again. English speakers say thank you a lot, so you can never say it too much.
That is a lovely cultural note, Alex. And there is one more warm phrase for the end. As you leave, you can say, thanks a lot, have a good day. Have a good day is friendly and kind, and it leaves a nice impression.
Let me put a full cafe conversation together so it flows. Hi, can I have a flat white, please? Sure, anything else? No, that's all, thanks. How much is that? That's £3.20. Here you are, thank you very much. Thanks, have a lovely day.
I love that little phrase, that's all, thanks. That's all means you have finished ordering and you do not want anything more. So when the server asks anything else, you can simply say, no, that's all, thanks. It is clear, polite, and it ends your order nicely.
Let us review the key cafe phrases. Can I have? And I'll have for ordering. How much is that? For asking the price. And can I pay by card? Plus, thank you, have a good day for paying and leaving.
Wonderful. Now you can walk into any cafe and order like a local. The next time you are out, try ordering your drink in English, even quietly in your head. Practice makes it feel natural, and soon it will be automatic. Now let us sit down with our coffee and talk about work and studies. So, Alex, we have our coffee. We are sitting comfortably, and this is when people often chat about work. A very common question when you meet someone new is, "What do you do?" It sounds like a general question, but it actually means, "What is your job?" So if someone asks, "What do you do?" they want to know about your work.
That is a great point, because what do you do can confuse learners. It does not mean what are you doing right now. It means what is your job or profession. So you answer with your work like I'm a teacher or I work in a hospital.
Let me show a natural reply. If someone asks me, I might say, "I'm a graphic designer. I work for a small company." Notice, I gave my job and then one extra detail. That extra detail keeps the conversation friendly and open.
And you do not have to have a fancy job to answer. You can say I work in a shop or I work from home or I'm between jobs at the moment. I'm between jobs is a gentle way to say you're looking for work right now. It sounds much softer than saying I'm unemployed.
That is a kind and useful phrase. Now, many of our listeners are students, so let us cover studying too. If you are a student, you can say, "I'm studying English," or "I'm a student." And you can add your subject like, "I'm studying business at university."
Right. And people might ask, what are you studying? Then you answer with your subject, such as I'm studying medicine or I'm learning to code. Learning to code means learning to write computer programs, which is very popular now. So whether you work or study, you have a simple way to describe it.
Let me ask you something, Alex. Have you had a busy week?
Yes, actually, it's been quite busy. It's been busy uses the present perfect because the week is not fully over yet. I had a lot of meetings, so I feel a little tired, although it was a good week overall. How about you? Has your week been busy or free?
Mine has been fairly quiet, to be honest. Fairly quiet means not very busy, so I had some free time. I finished my main project early, which gave me space to relax. So this week I've been busy at the start and free at the end.
I like how we used busy and free there because those are key words. Busy means you have a lot to do, and free means you have time with nothing planned. You can say, I'm really busy this week, or I'm free on Friday. These words come up constantly when you talk about work and plans.
And here is a natural follow-up question about someone's week. You can ask, "How's your week going?" Or you can ask, "Are you busy this week?" Both are friendly ways to check in on someone's work life.
Let us review the key phrases for work and studies. What do you do? To ask about someone's job. I'm a teacher or I work in a shop to answer. And I'm studying business, plus I've been really busy this week to talk about study in your week.
Perfect. Now you can talk about your job, your studies, and how your week is going. These topics come up almost every time you meet someone new. So prepare one simple sentence about your work or study and keep it ready. Next, let us move to the fun part of life, which is hobbies and free time.
Now, this is my favorite chapter, Mia, because we are talking about free time. Free time is the time when you are not working or studying, so you can do what you enjoy. And the things you enjoy doing are called hobbies. Talking about hobbies is a wonderful way to make friends.
It really is, because people light up when they talk about what they love. The key phrase here is, "In my free time, For example, in my free time, I like reading and cooking. It is a simple, natural way to share your hobbies.
Let me try it. In my free time, I love hiking and taking photos. Notice I used love, which is stronger than like. So I love hiking means I really, really enjoy it, more than just liking it.
That is a good point about like and love. I like means you enjoy something. I love means you enjoy it a lot. And if you do not enjoy something, you can say, "I don't really like."
Yes, and I don't really like is a soft, polite way to say no. For example, I don't really like running, but I love swimming. The word really makes it gentler, so you do not sound too negative. It is a kind way to share your dislikes without being harsh.
Let me share some of mine. In my free time, I enjoy painting, and I'm really into gardening at the moment. Did you catch the phrase, "I'm really into"? I'm really into gardening means I am very interested in it, and I enjoy it a lot right now.
Oh, I'm really into is such a natural phrase. You can say, I'm really into cooking, or I'm really into football. It shows strong interest, and native speakers use it all the time, so it is a lovely upgrade from just saying, I like.
Now, let me ask you a common free time question. Alex, what do you like to do at the weekend?
I usually meet friends or go for a long walk. Sometimes I just stay home and relax because the week can be tiring. How about you, Mia? What do you do to relax? See how I sent the question back, so the conversation keeps flowing.
I like to slow down and read a good book. And this is a nice moment for making a suggestion because hobbies often lead to plans. You can say, we should go hiking together sometime. We should is a friendly way to suggest a shared activity.
That is a great way to connect a hobby to a real plan. We should try that new restaurant, or we should watch that film together. Sometime makes it relaxed, so it is not a fixed plan, just a friendly idea. It plants a seed, and later you can turn it into a real invitation.
Let us review the key phrases for hobbies and free time. In my free time, to introduce your hobbies. I'm really into to show strong interest. And we should like some time to suggest doing something together.
Wonderful. Now you can share what you love and even suggest a shared activity. Hobbies are the heart of small talk because they help people bond. So think of two hobbies you can talk about and practice saying them out loud. Now, sadly, every good conversation must end. So let us learn to say goodbye.
So, Alex, we have had such a lovely chat today, but at some point we need to say goodbye. Ending a conversation politely is a real skill, and many learners find it tricky. You do not want to just stop talking and walk away. Instead, you gently signal that the conversation is ending.
That is so important, Mia. A natural way to start closing is to say, anyway, I should get going. I should get going means I need to leave now. And it sounds polite, not rude. The word anyway is a signal that you are about to wrap things up.
I love that phrase because anyway is like a gentle warning that the goodbye is coming. You can also say, it was really nice talking to you. That sentence shows that you enjoyed the conversation. It leaves a warm, friendly feeling as you part.
And then we make a small promise to meet again. You can say, let's catch up soon. Let's catch up means let's meet and talk again. So it keeps the friendship alive. It is warm and it shows you want to see the person again.
There are a few lovely goodbye phrases too. You can say, see you soon or see you later. And with friends, a simple take care is really kind. Take care means look after yourself, and it is a warm way to finish.
Let me put a natural goodbye together. Anyway, I should get going. It was really nice talking to you. You too. Let's catch up soon. Definitely. See you later. Take care. Can you hear how smooth and friendly that sounds?
It really flows, and no one feels rushed or ignored. Now, at the end of a conversation, we often talk about future plans. And in English, we love the phrase going to for future plans. Going to is for things you have already decided to do.
That is a key grammar point. So let us make it clear. I'm going to visit my family this weekend means you have already planned it. She's going to start a new job next month means it is decided. So when you have a plan, use going to plus a verb.
Let me share my future plans. This weekend, I'm going to relax at home, and then I'm going to see some friends on Sunday. Next month, I'm going to start a new online course, which I'm really excited about. Do you hear how going to tells you these are real, planned actions?
And let me share mine. Tomorrow I'm going to finish a project, and later I'm going to cook a nice dinner. Then, next week, I'm going to take a short trip to the coast so I can rest. Going to makes it easy to talk about everything ahead of you.
Let us review our final key phrases. I should get going, and it was really nice talking to you, for ending politely. Let's catch up soon, and see you later. Take care for a warm goodbye. And I'm going to, for talking about your future plans.
Perfect. So, now you can start a conversation, keep it going, and end it beautifully. You have learned greetings, small talk, your day, making plans, ordering food, work, hobbies, and goodbyes. That is a huge amount of real, everyday English in just one episode, and you did it by listening and repeating, which is exactly how it sticks.
You really did a wonderful job today, everyone. Remember, all of this is for practice, so do not worry about being perfect. Every time you listen, repeat, and try these phrases, you get a little bit better. Language learning is a journey, and you are already walking it with us.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us in our English Corner. Try to use just one or two of today's phrases in your real life this week, because using them is what makes them yours. We are so proud of you for practicing, and we cannot wait to see you again. Until then, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep smiling.
Thank you from both of us for being here. Take care of yourself, keep practicing your everyday English, and be kind to yourself as you learn. This has been episode 3 of our English Corner, and we loved every minute with you. See you next time.